Well, these Disney reimaginings are 3 for 3 now. But not in a good way. Thanks, Disney. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. This movie has some storylines. It seems like the natural way for the franchise to progress, right? She finds her people and unites with them. Aurora is going to be married to Prince Philip, and that causes some problems. Ugh, let's talk about it. I'm gonna start off and say it. This movie is visually very beautiful. It's great. It's got all the fantasy, scenery, and everything that you would want out of this Maleficent sequel. There's lots of the same charm that the first one brought. But then you get to the story and the characters, and this movie is not anywhere near the first film. So, a few of the humans are kidnapping fairies. Nobody knows why, but for some reason this causes Maleficent to hate every single human being except for Aurora, including the prince that Aurora loves. The prince, you know, the guy that Maleficent brought to the castle in the last movie in hopes that he could save Aurora. Oh, but all of a sudden now she's against him marrying Aurora after 5 years of him practically dating her? Okay, that makes sense. Maleficent's character in this movie doesn't make sense. Why on earth is she so mean? She's not evil. It's called Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. So wouldn't we expect her to be evil in this movie? Well, first off, that wouldn't match what happened in the last film. And no, she never does anything evil. I mean, she gets angry during one scene and she starts throwing her green magic everywhere, but she doesn't do anything. She just leaves and then gets shot and then does nothing for practically the rest of the movie. I mean, yeah, that's some great stuff, right? In the last movie, we were always rooting for Maleficent because we saw her as a good person who did good things, and then we saw her change into an evil person, but we keep seeing little bits of hope that she will come back. That's what made the last one so good, and I made a whole video on it. What does this movie do? It really nothing. Maleficent doesn't do really anything. She doesn't do anything good that makes us root for her throughout the rest of the movie. She just acts a little bit mean sometimes. Sometimes she'll act nice and show that there's still goodness in her. But there's nothing in this movie that makes us want her to succeed. And that's pretty much every character in this movie. We don't know who to root for, and so we're just watching events happen. The closest thing we have to a main rootable character is the Princess Aurora, but she's not too important until the third act. She has her moments, but overall it's more focused on Maleficent. And even Aurora, she makes some choices that make us wonder why we should root for her. And none of the characters have enough screen time, and none of them have any actions in the first act that would make us care about what they do in the rest of the movie. There are only 2 characters in this whole movie that are completely likable. You have the crow guy, but he's not really important to most of the movie. And then you have the fairy that saves Maleficent, and he's not extremely important, and he dies before the third act. Now, his death is probably one of the most important parts. It serves as some bigger motivation for Maleficent, and it also gives us some insight into her character when she tries to protect him after he's been shot. And this is finally a moment where we see some actions from Maleficent that would make us root for her, that would make us want her to succeed, but it's a little bit too late. It's nearing the third act, and she finally does something that makes us like her. A little bit too late, movie. Now, there was some stuff that I did like in this movie, but for everything that I liked in this movie, there is something that I didn't like. And it's like this throughout the movie. And then you have the bigger things. For every big moment that I liked, there's a bigger moment that I didn't like. And there's so many big core problems with the story that this just becomes an unenjoyable film to watch. You don't root for anybody. A lot of the characters, a lot of the new characters I completely disliked. And then there's a lot of just strange moments in here that just made me laugh. Like, what on earth just happened? And I don't know if everybody's going to react the same way while viewing this movie, but there's just so many small moments that I'm just like, why are they doing that? Why did that happen? What are you doing? And I don't know. For how much I wanted to love this movie, the first Maleficent is my favorite of these Disney reimaginings. This one just fell flat, and it's one of my least favorite. I give Maleficent Mistress of Evil a 45% in quality, a 35% in enjoyment, for an overall score of 40%. Wait, is that BB Rexa singing in the credits? I take it all back. 10 out of 10, this is a great movie. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and comment on what your thoughts on Maleficent 2 were. This one wasn't as fun as they usually were for me, but I had some fun watching this movie, even if I didn't like it that much. But be sure to look for more movie reviews. I'll see all of you later. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.